Greetings of the day. This is Mohammad Zafar. We are going to study sets, which is the chapter 1 from class 11th mathematics. Sets. Why do we study sets? We do study sets to develop the concept of relations and functions. On the basis of relations and functions, we will develop the concept of limits, continuity, differentiability and many more concepts of mathematics which are very important for higher studies. So what are the sets and why do we study sets? I told you. Now, a well-defined collection well-defined collection of objects is called a set. What is well-defined collection? I will tell. Let us take some examples. If I take example of a medical shop, so in a medical shop we will get all kind of medicines. So here collection of medicine is well defined. So in a medical shop we get only medicines. So we can say medical shop is a set of medicines. See here, in this medical shop medicines are the well defined, because in medical shop we are getting only medicines, not any other thing, only medicines. So that's why this is a well defined collection. Next we can take example of library. In a library we do get books. So we can say library is a set of books. Okay, these are the examples, daily life examples which we come across. Now we will talk about mathematical examples we will take. In mathematics we have counting numbers. What are the counting numbers? 1, 2, 3, 4 up to infinity. And we do represent these counting numbers with or by capital N. And we call this set of natural numbers. Okay. In the same way, set of integers, which we denote by Z. This is also a set. It is well defined. Okay. Why this is well defined? Because from 1 to 3 up to infinity, these are counting numbers, but these numbers are also useful. They are not, we can say they are not useful in our daily life, but in mathematics they are very useful. That's why they have been introduced. Okay. Now we will go for belongs to and does not belong. So if I say belongs to, belongs to means some elements which are in the set. So we will say that element is, or that element belongs to that particular set. For example, if I say A is a set, and in that set we have 1 2 3 4 5. So if I say 3 is in the set A, so instead of saying or writing this one sentence, we will simply write 3 belongs to A. In the same way, if I say 5 is in the set A, so 5 belongs to A. Okay. Now if I say a number 6, if I say a number 6 in the same set, let us take same set 1 2 3 4 5. 6 is not in the set, so we will say 6 does not. This sign says belongs to, this sign says does not belong to that particular set. So 6 does not belong to A. 7 does not belong to A. Okay. So this is the concept of belongs to and does not belong to. Okay. Next topic is representation of sets. How we do represent a set? How do we represent a set? There are two methods. One is roster form and another is set builder form. Okay, so we will go for roster form. So roster form I have written already in my notebook, so that I will tell you, just note it down. Roster form. Note it down. Roster form. All the elements of a set are listed. All the elements of a set are listed. The elements are being separated by commas and are enclosed within curly braces. I will repeat myself again. All the elements of a set are listed. The elements are being separated by commas and are enclosed within curly braces. Curly braces, you know. This is curly braces or curly bracket. Okay. For example, if I will give you an example, set of all even positive integers. Example, set of all positive even. set of all positive even integers less than 7. So if we want to describe it in roster form, if I say A is a set of all positive even integers, we know what are integers, we know what is even number, positive, so 2, 4, 6, and they are saying less than 7, so we will not go forward, because the next even number is positive even number is 8, but we want to write less than 7, so we will close the bracket. So this is the roster form of this particular one. Okay, another example, if I want to write, another example, you can note it down. If I take set A equal to better, that means they are asking to write set A as the set A is having these alphabets. Okay, so how we will write it? Simply write it A equal to B E T R. Here we have 2 E and 2 T's, but in roster form we will not write the repeated elements. So we are not writing E 2 times and we are not writing T 2 times. Okay, we have to write only one time. Note it down. We will write the repeated letters. We will write the repeated letters in the set. Sorry, we will not write the repeated letters. We will not write the repeated letters in the set because one letter is already there. So it will serve for all the repeated letters. Okay. Another note, write it down. In roster form, order is immaterial. In roster form, order is immaterial. That means the order of the listed elements doesn't matter. That means the order of the listed elements doesn't matter. Okay, see here I have written A equal to 2, 4, 6. So we can write or A equal to 4, 2, 6, or we can write A equal to, what we can write, 4, 6, 2. Whatever the possibilities we can write. Okay, next, set builder form or set builder method. Set builder form. So in this method, note it down please. In this method, a set is described by a set is described by a characterizing property. Say, we can say it as Px. Say Px of its elements x, of its elements x. In such a case, the set is described by the set is described by x such that px holds, which is read as the set of all x such that px holds. Okay, so in this definition, the important thing is characterizing property, which is px. I will give you an example. The set of all even integers. We have to write this statement in set builder form. So note that here we have written characterizing property px. So in this example, the characterizing property is even integers. So if I say A is the set, so A equal to x such that x equal to 2n and n belongs to z. So here x equal to 2n is the characterizing property and n is coming from z. Okay, you should know that whenever we will multiply any number with 2 or by 2, we will always get even numbers. Okay, next topic is types of sets. Types of sets. So in this list, the very first set is empty set. Empty set. We will denote it by phi, and sometimes they will denote it with this curly bracket. Okay, so a set is said to be an empty set or null set or void set if it has no element. That means if we will get any set where we are not getting any element in the set, so that set will be called as, or that set will be described as empty set. Sometimes they will say it null set, sometimes they will call it void set. So I will give you an example. What example? Okay, for example, A is any set where x such that x is odd and x is the solution of x square minus 4 equal to 0. Sometimes we will write it as or A equal to x such that x is odd and x square minus 4 equal to 0. So both the statements are same. Now here note that the characterizing property here px is x is odd and x square minus 4 equal to 0, which is coming from, these x are coming from x square minus 4. That means here x is the solution of, when we will solve this, and the value of x should come odd. Okay, let us try this. X square minus 4 equal to 0. So this implies x square equal to 4. This implies x equal to plus minus 2. We got 2. plus minus 2, that's I'm not talking about that, but we are getting plus 2 and minus 2. So A is minus 2 and plus 2, but according to the statement x should be odd. See here, x values of x are not odd but they are even, so we will say A is an empty set, or we will write A equal to 5 or A equal to this curly bracket. Okay, hope you understood these examples. Next topic is singleton set. I will rub from here. Next is singleton set. A set consisting of a single element. A set consisting of a single element is called a singleton set. A singleton set means any set which is having only one element, no other element, only one element, then it will be called as singleton set. For example, A equal to x such that x is odd and x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. So here x is odd and x is the solution of this quadratic equation. If we will solve this quadratic equation, we will get the solution. So x square minus 5x plus 6 equal to 0. We will factorize it. X square minus 3x minus 2x plus 6 equal to 0. So here we will get x minus 3. I am writing one step direct. X minus 3, x minus 2 equal to 0. See here, the solution is x equal to 3, x equal to 2. Now what we want x should be odd. So here x is odd, so we will take this, and here x is even, so we will not take this, so we will cancel. So A will be having only one element, that is 3. So here in this example, A is a singleton set when the conditions are given or the characterizing property is given like this. Okay, next topic is our finite set. Note it down. I will write finite set. Finite, and in this definition we are going to study finite and infinite sets. Please note it down. A set is called a finite set. I will write a set is called a finite set. A set is called a finite set if it is either void set or its elements can be listed by natural numbers 1 2 3 ... and the process of listing terminates at a certain natural number. We will say it n. We are saying that. Okay, I will rub that part. So I will give you example here. What is the definition saying here? Set is finite if it is either void set or it is consisting elements from natural numbers and it is terminating at some certain number n. If we are ending or we are terminating it at n equal to 10, so that means from 1 to 3 up to 10, so that means this set will be finite because we have only 10 elements varying from 1 to 10. Okay. The number n in the above definition, one more important thing, the number n in the above definition is called the cardinal number. This is very important when we will prepare for when we will study some higher order thinking questions. This cardinal number will be in much use. So I am telling it here right now. Order of a is called the cardinal number of a finite set, and it is denoted by NA. So cardinal number means it is just the number of elements in the finite set or the number of elements in the infinite set. So according to this finite set definition, we are terminating at some number n. Some number means at some natural number n. If we are unable to terminate at some natural number n, that means it is going to infinity. So that set will become infinite set. Hope you understand. I will repeat myself again. If we are unable to terminate the listing, here we have written can be listed by natural numbers 1 2 3 ... and the process of listing terminates at a certain natural number. So instead of terminating at a certain natural number, we are unable to terminate it at some natural number. That means it is going to infinity. So that set will become infinite set. Okay. So now I have written this, so you can note it down. A set whose elements cannot be listed by natural numbers. That's what I said. We are unable to list by natural numbers. That means we are unable to terminate natural numbers 1 2 3 ... n for any natural I think I should write up this side. For any natural number n is called an infinite set. Okay, let us try few examples so that we can understand this definition better, in a better way. So for example, they have given x such that x belongs to n and x minus 1, x minus 2 equal to 0. Okay, we have to check whether this set is finite or infinite. So x is coming from natural numbers and x is the solution of this given equation. So x minus 1 equal to, x minus 1, x minus 2 equal to 0. So here we will get x minus 1 equal to 0 and x minus 2 equal to 0. So this will give us x equal to 1, x equal to 2. So we will get, if I say a equal to, so we will get a equal to 1, 2. So we got two elements, 1 and 2. Okay, another example. What is this? Okay, this wire is getting stuck. Another example we can take x, if I say b equal to x such that x belongs to n and x square equal to 4. Say here x square equal to 4. This will give us x equal to plus minus 2. So we will get b equal to minus 2 plus 2. So we got two elements. So b is also a finite set. So we will write here a is finite. Here also we will write b is finite. Okay, let us see another example. Let us try another example. Example number here 3. X such that x belongs to n and x is prime. We know that the set of prime numbers is infinite. So this set will be infinite set. We will write it here. This is the set of prime numbers. This is the set of prime numbers and the set of prime numbers and the set of I will write here and the set of prime numbers is infinite. So this set is an infinite set. Okay. So up to here we have seen, we have got the flavor of finite set, infinite set, empty set and singleton set. Now we will move forward, which is the most important topic in this chapter set, is subset. What is a subset? Hope you have copied all these things. Now I will solve. This is the most important thing in this chapter, subset. I will write the definition first, then we will discuss it. Let A and B be two sets. Let A and B be two sets. If every element of set A is if every element of set A is member of set B, then A A is called the subset of B. Okay, and we will write it as we will write a subset of, this is the symbol of subset of B. This is the symbol of subset. So A is subset of B. So what does this mean? This means that B contains all the elements of A. For example, if I say A equal to 1, 2, 3 and B equal to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. See here, 1 is here, 1 is here, 2, 2, 3, 3, but 4 and 5. 4 and 5 are not in the set A. So A is subset of B. Now read the definition. If every element of set A is member of set B, if every element, this element, this element, this element, these three elements are the member of this set B, we can see up to here. So this set A is subset of B. Okay. Now we will write few points, note it down. Very first, if this is happening, we will say that it means, as I told in the example, it means B contains A. Can we say this? Yes, we can say, because 1, 2, 3 is the set A and here 1, 2, 3 is here. So we can say B is having A or B is containing A. Okay. Second, superset. B is superset of A. Okay. Third one, I will write it here. If A is not, if A is not a subset of B, is not a subset of B, then we will write A is not subset of B. So we have to write the symbol subset and then we have to cut it. Okay, down. Next point is empty set is a subset. Empty set phi is the subset of every set. Okay, so this empty set phi is always a subset of every set. Whatever set you will write, we will write, there will be always an empty set in the form of subset. Okay, next point, say 5. Empty set is a subset of itself. Every set is a subset of itself. That is understood. Next point number 6. If a set has n elements, if a set has n elements, if a set has n elements, then the total number of subsets, then the total number of subsets, then the total number of subsets is 2 power n. Okay, we will use this property in power set also. A subset A, another property means next property or next point, a subset A, a subset A of a set B is called a proper set, is called a proper set if proper set of B, of B if A not equal to B, and we write A proper subset of B. Okay, note it down all, and after this we will study power set, and after power set we will do few examples. I will rough this from here. Power set. The set of all subsets, note it down. This set of all subsets of a set A is called power set of A. Okay, and it is denoted by PA. PA means power set of A. Okay, for example, if we take A equal to 1, 2, 3, 3 will be little bit heavy or little bit lengthy. So as we have noted down that empty set is a subset of every set. We have noted down in one point that empty set is a subset of every set. So here for this set, empty set will be one of the subset. So we will list 5. This is the first subset. Second will be 1. This set is the subset of set A because 1 is contained here. Another subset 2 and another subset 1, 2, because every set is a subset of itself. So how many? So we will write this in a curly bracket and then it will be power set of A. See here, 1, 2, 3, 4. One property or one point we have written that if a set has n elements, see here 2 elements. If a set has n elements, then the total number of subsets will be 2 power n. You just check, just now we have written if a set has n elements. Here how many elements? N equal to 2. Then the total number of subsets will be 2 power n. So 2 power n, that means 2 power 2, this n equal to 2, so equal to 4. See here how many subsets? 5 is one subset, 1 is one subset, 2 is one subset, and 1 comma 2 is another subset. So for this set A we have 1 2 3 4 subsets, and listing all the subsets of any set, and then we will denote it as power set. When we will list all the subset of any set, then we will say that we have collected or we have written the power set of that particular set. Okay. Now we will go for next is equal sets. Equal sets. Two finite sets are equal. Note it down. Two finite sets are equal if every element of A is a member of B, and every element of B and every element of B is a member of A. Okay, so that means every element of A is member of B. So here every element here is contained in B and every element of B is contained in A. So this implies by A equal to B. If A equal to B, then we will write this, and if this is happening, we will write A equal to B. That means if two sets are there and one is subset of another and another is subset of the previous one, like A is subset of B and B is subset of A, then we will say that these two sets are equal. If these two sets are equal, then they will be subsets of each other. Okay. Next is universal set. Hope you understood all these. When we will do the examples, we will get it properly if you are having any problem right now. But just note it down. When we will do examples, we will explain it properly. Next is universal set. A set that contains all sets. Universal set. A set that contains all sets in a given context. That means they will give in the question itself. So according to that question, we will define, or they will define, what is a universal set there. So in a given context is called the universal set. Okay, is called universal set. We have completed. Now operations on sets. operations on sets. The very first one, union of sets. Union of sets. Okay, the union of two sets I will write. The union of two sets A and B. A and B is the set of all, is the set of all those elements which belong to either A or B, which belong to either A or B or both A and B. Okay, and it is denoted by A union B. This is not U, but this is the symbol. This is the symbol of union. So A union B. In set builder form, we will write it as, in set builder form, we will write it as A union B equal to X such that X belongs to A. Okay, according to the definition here, either A and B is the set of all those elements which belong to either A or B or both. So we will write X belongs to A or X belongs to B. That's enough to write here, no need to A and B also. So this is the set builder form. Now it is point, note it as a point. Point number 1, we can see that A is subset of A union B. Simply we can see, because in A union B, A is already there. In the same way, B is subset of A union B, because B is also contained there. So okay, these 2 points. And third point, A union B equal to A. This implies and implied by B is subset of A. What does this mean? I will explain. And in the same way, and A union B equal to B, this implies and implies by A is subset of B. See here, A union B is A. That means when we are taking union of two sets A and B, we are getting A. So in this case, A will be greater set and B will be smaller set. So that's why B is contained in A. In the same way, when we are getting union of two sets as one set, here A and B two sets, so A union B is coming B. So here B will be bigger set and A will be smaller set. So A is subset of B. Okay, so these are the important one. Next, how we will represent Venn diagram. Venn diagram was given by one mathematician. So how we will represent it in Venn diagram? Actually these diagrams will show each and everything. See here, already we know universal set. Here we will write simply universal set U. Let me write it properly. U is the universal set, and this universal set will be according to the context. So here they have not defined, but whenever we will draw a Venn diagram and when we will talk about all these union, intersection, disjoint, we need universal set. So here universal set, and this is set A, this is set B. See here, all these elements, this full, it will be A union B. All the elements we will take. Whenever we will see this kind of diagram or Venn diagram, it is representing all these elements. If I will blur it, see, like this. So actual A union B is like this. Okay, this is actual A union B. Okay, next is intersection of sets. So intersection. Oh, okay, before going intersection, we can take few examples. Hope you have noted down. We have sets A, we have sets, two sets we are taking, A equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, and another set 6, 8, 10, 12. So A union B, what we have to take? All the elements. We have to take all the elements, 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12. See here, 6 and 8 should come 2 times, but according to roster method we will not repeat the elements. So we are not repeating 6 and 8. So this is the union of two sets A and B. So A union B, it is written. Another example we can take, A equal to A, E, I, O, U, and another set is A, E, O. Okay, two sets. Now we have to find out A union B. So A union B will be A, E, I, O, U, because in B we have 3 elements. So A, we are taking these two, E, O, A, E, and I is also there. So we will take all the elements in union A, E, I, O, U. Can you see that this is written A? So in this particular example we got A union B equal to A. Okay. So in this example we got A union B equal to A. Sometimes they may ask to prove. They will give this kind of questions and they will ask prove that A union B equal to A or A union B equal to B. According to the question we will prove these things. Next is intersection. Intersection of two sets. Intersection of sets. The intersection of two sets, the intersection of two sets A and B, A and B. The intersection of two sets A and B is the set of all, is the set of all those elements that belong to both A and B. A and B, it is denoted as A intersection B. Okay, so Venn diagram, if we will draw for this is a universal set U, this is A, this is B, here few elements and here few elements. So those elements which will come in this section or in this part, that will be the intersection. So this is A intersection B. Okay, for example, here I will write example. If I say A equal to 2, 4, 6, 8, the same example here I am taking, which I took in union. 6, 8, 10, 12. See here, what are those elements which are present in both sets? So 6, 8, here 6, here 8. So A intersection B will be A intersection B is equal to 6, 8. So set of all those elements that belong to both A and B, or in our simple language we can say common to both sets. See here, 6 and 8 is common here in these two sets. Okay, next set, that is disjoint set. That is disjoint set. Disjoint set. Two sets A and B are said to be two sets A and B are said to be disjoint if A intersection B equal to 5. That is, they means these two sets A and B, they do not have any common element. That means when we are taking intersection of two sets, we are getting an empty set. Okay, this is the disjoint set.